In townships such as Khayelitsha, Philippi and Guguletu, the situation is quite different. While some small-scale extortion operations have been running in these areas for many years, large-scale extortion is a recent development. Unlike in other parts of the Cape Flats, for some of these gangs, extortion is now not so much a sideline as their main business. Research indicates that, as in other areas of the Cape Flats, in the case of Khayelitsha, Nyanga, Philippi, and Guguletu, foreign business owners are singled out for extortion. In these townships, it is Somali businesses in particular that have been targeted. While Somali business owners initially refused to pay extortion money, in 2017, amid waves of violence directed mainly at them, they finally succumbed to the pressure and reached an agreement with the extortion gangs. Community activists referred to this agreement as the Sunset Clause, and said that when it was reached, the various gangs operating in the area came together to divide up the territory and hash out how the system would work. Two of these community activists also claimed that a Khayelitsha-based private security company played a role in bringing the gangs together. From around 2018, gangs started to target the more vulnerable businesses, informal traders, and even residents in their townships for extortion. Then, as they honed their skills and expanded their influence, they began to focus on the more formal businesses in the area, such as supermarkets and fast food outlets. According to one community activist interviewed, someone could therefore be broadly aligned to one gang, such as Boko Haram or the Guptas, but also have an alliance with one of the numbers gang groups. In addition to the blurred lines between Boko Haram, the Guptas and the numbers gangs, other gangs and groups are active in these areas, each with their own identity and allegiances. One such group is the Kiki Murray Taxi Association, which represents many Amafala taxis among other activities. In Old Crossroads near Philippi, a recently established gang known as Amabuteri has developed into a major racketeering player. Amabuteri extorts shops in the area under its control, has links to several high-profile criminal figures, and, according to a police official, is becoming influential within Boko Haram. Amabuteri is also believed to be one of the few groups or cells used by taxi bosses to carry out assassinations and extort money from other taxi drivers. Three alleged members of Amabuteri, Kangalani Matrus, who is a friend of Makalala, Lindikaya Mbeki and Kangalani Mbobo, are currently on trial for the murder of three people: Bulalani Magwa, Mande Nsewu, and law enforcement officer Sifelo Magwa. According to police investigators, Matrus believed the three victims to be members of a rival extortion racket when he walked up to the window of the car they were in and gunned them down. Other individuals linked to the township extortion economy have links to other criminal activities, particularly highly violent armed robbery and cash-in-transit heists, and extremely menacing reputations in their home townships. One of these key players is Yanga Bara Nyalara. Nyalara has been identified by the state as a township extortion kingpin, particularly in Khayelitsha, where he is both feared and loved by his community. He was also associated with Sikhumbule Nkonki. On the 15th of May, 2021, Sikhumbule Nkonki, a known associate of Yanga Bara Nyalara, had just collected money paid to him in lieu of extortion from the shopkeepers at T&T Cash Store at X196, care of Bonzi Street and Baka Avenue Site B, in Khayelitsha, where he was allegedly confronted by armed members of an opposing group also involved in the extortion of foreign shopkeepers and informal businesses in Site B, in Khayelitsha. Sikhumbule Nkonki was summarily shot and executed in the street outside the shop by this group. Later that day, Bara, Wanda, Manalisi and a group of heavily armed male persons estimated to have been between 10 to 15 in number, gathered close to the home of the alleged leader of the opposing group with alias Piri in Y-section Site B, Khayelitsha. The group then proceeded from that point, with the aim, which became clear later, of retaliating against the shooting of their associate by this group, by targeting informal businesses, or randomly targeting community members, who happened to be in the vicinity of various informal businesses, in the area known to be extorted by the opposing group. The group of gunmen first encountered the first victim in a passage behind Y834 Dews Close in Y-section Site B, Khayelitsha. The victim noticed 3 African males coming towards him, all of whom were armed with firearms. One of the men, who he later identified as Manalisi Ngumla, asked why he was staring at them as they walked past him. He proceeded to look away, but then noticed a group of approximately 7 males also walking towards him, all who were armed with firearms. 2 of whom he noticed were armed with what appeared to be automatic rifles. As the group passed by him, one member of the group unexpectedly shot him in face and injured him. The group continued on their path, while the victim ran to the Khayelitsha Day Hospital to get medical assistance. The group then proceeded to Lalala Crescent, where at Y808B Lalala Crescent Site B Khayelitsha, they encountered the second victim, who was driving his motor vehicle and shot at him. The victim, however, succeeded in evading the group shooting at him and was not injured. The group, led by Bara, who himself was armed with 2 automatic rifles, then made their way Freedom Cash Store, located at Y646 Palisa Crescent, where Bara was observed handing a rifle to another member of the group, who together with other members of the group proceeded to fire on the shop, injuring the shopkeeper. The group then made way towards Nkook's Tavern, located at Y744 Lalala Crescent Site B, where they encountered Gavin Futo in the street outside Nkook's Tavern, where he was shot at and unalived as he tried to flee to safety into Nkook's Tavern. They also encountered Tabiso Simalani and Mandlakaisa Simalani, seated in a Toyota Corolla vehicle parked outside Nkook's Tavern, where Yanga Bara and another member of the group was observed firing on the vehicle, unaliving both occupants. In process of killing Futo and the Simalani brothers, a bullet went astray, hitting and injuring a woman while she was cowering inside a neighboring dwelling. The group then proceeded down Kosa Avenue to the ScoMo supermarket at T110 Bayana Street, where they entered shop and shot and killed the shopkeeper Ibrahim Abdul Ahmed in the chest. The group then crossed the railway line nearby and walked in the direction of RR Section, an informal settlement in Site B Khayelitsha. At a point opposite RR 182 RR Section, they encountered the deceased in Asemale Mayakiso, who tried to flee the group but was shot and killed. The group then moved on to a point opposite RR 1079 RR Section, where they encountered Simfiwe Mzola and Siabonga Batani, making a bread delivery at a Zema Zema tuck shop, and shot and killed them. One of the shopkeepers, Hassan Nur Muhammad, was also shot and killed while standing and smoking outside the Zema Zema tuck shop. Tembul and Lamani, who happened to be walking in the same street, were also shot at by the group. The group then moved back across the railway line into X section and made their way to T&T Cash Store, where their associate Sikhumbule Nkonki had been killed earlier that day. On the way to T&T Cash Store, while still on Banzi Street, they encountered Mzingizi Mbalini walking in the street and shot and killed him opposite X320 Banzi Street. On arriving at T&T Cash Store, 3 members of the group, including Yanga Bara, entered the shop and shot and killed 2 of the shopkeepers, Ahmed Abukar Omar and Osman Wado. The third shopkeeper was also shot at, but escaped injury. Yanga Bara Nyalara, known as the most wanted man in the Western Cape, was arrested on the 1st of July 2022 in Bothasig, Cape Town. He was held in detention for 2 extortion-related mass shootings in May 2021 and May 2022. He was facing 31 charges, including 18 counts of murder, 5 counts of attempted murder, several counts of illegal possession of a firearm, and illegal possession of ammunition. He was also charged with dealing in and possession of drugs, and has been charged under the Prevention of Organized Crime Act. Nyalara's arrest came after a lengthy police hunt, during which a surprisingly large reward of 100,000 rand was offered for any information on his whereabouts. He had previously been sought by the police in connection with a cash-in-transit heist in Labode, Eastern Cape. Yanga Bara Nyalara is from Brown's Farm in Philippi and studied to be a teacher. He is hailed as the Robin Hood of Khayelitsha, and is preferred by many to the police when it comes to finding stolen goods and protecting the community from criminals in the area. After his arrest, some residents of Site C in Khayelitsha marched to the police station singing his praises. As the trial proceeded, there were state witnesses set to testify against Yanga Bara Nyalara and his gang. Two of the included Christine Gumira and Olwethu Dianta. On the 25th of May 2023, Christine Gumira was walking on Church Street after reportedly appearing in the magistrate's court, where she was attending a court case. The gunman allegedly stalked the victim from the courthouse, ran up behind her and fired 2 shots, fatally wounding the alleged state witness. In the 20th of August 2024, the 17-year-old Olwethu Dianta was walking home when he was approached by an unknown man who took out a firearm and shot him. The victim sustained gunshot wounds to his chest and head and was declared deceased on the scene by medical person. Furthermore, it was reported that another witness was in hiding after he was attacked earlier in July 2024. This witness intimidation led to the decision for the court to acquit Yanga Bara Nyalara and his co-accused due to lack of evidence and witnesses. Yanga Bara Nyalara's reign of terror in Khayelitsha has left a trail of devastation in the community. Linked to 18 murders and numerous other violent crimes, Nyalara's actions have deeply scarred communities, instilling fear and contributing to the ongoing instability in these areas. Despite the horrific nature of his crimes, some community members view Nyalara as a hero or a Robin Hood figure when he is robbing the hood. However, it is crucial to acknowledge that there is no justification for the killing of innocent people, regardless of the circumstances or the perceived motives behind these actions. Rest in peace to everyone who lost their lives in this story.